So I'm here with David. He's one of the main actors from Popolo. Lovely to meet you. Congratulations. And
Good to be here with you.
Yeah, and more importantly, thank you so much for turning up. We do appreciate it. We know how difficult it is for all filmmakers.
Yeah.
However,
Well, it's great, American actor in London, right? So you don't want to miss these type of opportunities.
enjoying the cold.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you could just tell us how you approached about the film. When did you find out about the script, or how did it all come about?
I found out about the script. I don't know. It was maybe a few weeks before the audition.
Before the oh right, of
before
course,
the audition, right. And just went in sort of a cold audition, right? The first one.
Yeah.
And read a couple scripts, and like everyone, I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe they'll call me back, and so I got the call back, and then they gave us some prepared scripts, and we're working on a couple different things that they wanted to see me, a couple different roles they wanted to see me in, and one was as a soldier, and then one was as a police officer, a police commissioner. And in this film, the police commissioner is kind of a kingpin of the corrupt stuff that's going on. He's kind of the bad guy. So,
And was that freely available? Was that something material you had to, could you say just click on this link, or?
I don't really remember the process. I kind of remember more about once I started. And I usually don't remember much about audition processes. I just remember, well, I'm there, and they're looking at me, and I've got the lines, and I'm trying to project, what I think the character should be. So I don't usually remember a lot about the actual audition itself.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole timing thing of how it comes about. So I do remember the callback, and I do remember reading the two parts quite clearly, and ended up being cast as the police commissioner. So which is good, because it's he's kind of the bad guy, and I've always kind of thought that for memorability of a film, it's kind of sometimes better to be the bad guy, because it's a part that's memorable.
Well, that's what they say. Everyone remembers Darth Vader, for instance, and they, is the bad guy. So obviously, I've interviewed Ido, and he, I know the fascinating background of his life story and how he got into filmmaking by joining, I think it was the Marines or something.
Yeah.
So you're being cast. You get in the call and say, okay, you've got the part in the film. Did you at that point know Ido's heritage, or when did it all come out about his background?
No, I learned
and how
more.
Did you feel about that? I suppose?
Well, I thought it was incredible. I learned more about him later. As I say, in a film, it's good to be the bad guy because it's memorable. But as a director or producer, and in real life, you want to be the good guy. And he does have an incredible story, a very moving story, much as this film's starring role, Quantai Love.
Yeah.
Quantai is the good guy of this, the guy that overcomes things and kind of be a part of the community and trying to help people and get the bad guys out of power and get the good guys in, right? So I think Ido's story is something he needs to tell.
Oh, can make a film out of it.
Exactly.
No. Well, really make a documentary. He's almost made a film out of it, I suppose, by putting this to celluloid. So, I can't imagine, having met you and spoken to you now, how you're feeling when you go, because I can't imagine what it's like to actually have an audition and how you turn that on in front of a camera. Are you nervous? Do you get nerve-wracked?
I do, but I like anybody else, I try to do a lot of rehearsing. But I don't know. Sometimes I walk out and I think, well, they're not gonna call me back. And then the phone rings, and that's exciting, because there's a little bit of a confidence boost when the callback process starts, because now if it was
and it's real.
100 people looking at the role, now maybe they're only looking at 20 or whatever, or 10. So it's real that you feel like you have a possibility.
So you get the call back. Can you remember what sort of time of the year it was? Because I assume that you're then called to go to film 2, 3, 4 months down the line. I don't quite know.
Yeah, I think it was sometime around June and July, and then I think we filmed in September
in Hawaii.
October. Yeah.
What a lovely job to get.
It's a great place. It's great for filming, great for the Hawaii film industry there.
Yeah.
And the Hawaii Actors Network there. It's a good organization, and actors are getting their names out.
What is it, a beautiful place? I've never been there. I imagine it must be absolutely exotic.
It is. It's a great place to stay in shape. Because we got a lot of daylight hours there.
Mm.
So you can run and you can get out and stay in shape. Always have good weather. And of course, there's surfing and snorkeling and all those things. So you get to do everything there. And as far as self-promotion, it's a good market, to pursue different things. I've done some commercial work out there. And we did a film recently for Juniper. The name of the film is Juniper Lane. It's by Yellow Brick Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a comedy. So I'm getting an opportunity out there to do some diverse things. I started off doing commercial work out there,
Mm-hmm.
and then started with the various roles. So, right now a lot of people are seeing me as a police officer or seeing me as some sort of a bad guy on the other side of that. But I do like comedy as well. So.
It sounds like an incredible life. I mean, if we can just wind back to, have you always been an actor, or when you left college or university or whatever you did? I don't know.
No, I always wanted to go into acting, but there are always...
Well, from the get up and go,
yeah,
it was in your head.
From the get go, but you got to. That's the thing where you got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just start doing the auditions and start pursuing it, and it's a long road, as we know, but I think it's a road worth traveling. You stick with it.
No, I mean, look, I take my hat off to all the actors and actresses, all the filmmakers, because it's brutal. I know you're going for umpteen auditions and you don't get the part. So a lesser person would probably give up. I mean, that's probably why I wouldn't do it, because I just don't know if I can. I would. It would break me with the rejection, I think, eventually. So to keep going, you all are very driven people. You've got to be.
I think it's tough that, you look at these younger actors and you just look at them, you think they got so much potential, the guys that are in their early 20s, right? And those men and women are out there auditioning for those parts, At that point in your life, when you first get going and you've got college and you're starting a family and all that, everything is immediate. You feel like, you just have to succeed right now. And you start to learn as we move along and in careers and things like that, you start to realize that it takes some time, takes some patience. A lot of the leading man roles that are out there, you may not be in that range until you're in your upper 40s or early 50s. So you've got a lot of time to develop your talent and just keep going along. It's a progressive thing to be an actor. You can't expect to just go in and just make it overnight. You gotta be consistent, I think. So,
any ambitions to be the other side of the camera?
Everybody asks that,
yeah.
And I think it has crossed my mind in how does it help you develop as an actor. But at this point, I think there's still a lot of things I want to do as an actor. Right? It'd be, I guess, great to run the camera, and film things, but I really see myself as an actor down the road. I don't really see myself in the producer job, because whoever I work with, I like to work with a good team. I like to have you got to have a good team that does the camera and does the lights, and a good producer and a good editor, and I like to leave all that stuff to the experts. I just want to come in and give them a great character that they're going to be able to really believe in.
Is there any sort of amusing moments in this shoot that you can recall? Anything that happened?
There are some amusing moments in this, and like I said, being memorable is, I guess, something every actor tries to do or shouldn't try to do. You're going to be memorable. But one of the fans here came up the other day when we were at breakfast, and this was more than 48 hours after you premiered our film here. And she said good morning to everybody. I said, I want to say good morning to the bad guy. And I kind of looked over at Ito and Quante, and I said, see, that,
because you come across
as memorable.
You come across as so humble. That's the thing.
Our plan.
When we're talking here, you come across as really quite, and that's a compliment. Your personality, and then you see you on screen, and you're like, that's unbelievable how they can just flick it like that. Because that's your craft and that's your art. And is that something that you have to hone continuously, or is it just happen when you're reading for a part and then preparing for a part? Is it a continuous process where you're always trying to, whatever the role is you may or may not be going for, I mean, how do you work on that? Is that something that's continuous?
I think you do have to work on it because you can become very confident as an actor, and you got to know, how to, when you find the role, that you can be confident in and still be natural in at the same time.
Yeah,
I think it's important. So yeah, in the acting career, I think it's important to try to be humble, but again, difficult because it requires a lot of confidence, as you know, when you're up there and cameras are rolling and there's 50 people on the set and you've got lines to deliver and a character to show. It's tough. You got to be confident.
And the lines. I mean, is there a trick to actually learning those?
I don't know. I don't know if I have any secrets to share on that or not.
Because people I think they might continuously go through the lines ad infinitum, whereas others, I guess, they might be lucky enough to read through something just a few times and pick it up. But I don't know your recall abilities.
I just try. Well, I try to memorize all the lines first.
Yeah.
And then, as you're saying them over and over again, after you've memorized them, then you really bring the emotion to them, and you start to think about, well, what does this person mean by saying the things that they're saying?
Can you go back to roles you've, like if I said to you a film you're in, can you recall the lines, or is it gone? Is it washed away?
Well, no, I can't recall the lines, but I remember one time I got a callback, and I got very excited about the callback, and they had one of the Film Industry Network people there, and they wanted to try to bring something really unique to it, and they were filming all this stuff during an audition. So I just broke out and decided I was going to be British during that time. Yeah. And so we're here in London, so I guess if I want to be fitting in and be part of the London social scene, if I need to be British, I can be British.
Okay, very, very good. And have you got anything coming up? What's the plans for the future? And what do you do in your spare time, actually?
Well, the plans for the future is just, like I said, kind of continue along, keep meeting people and keep learning. Keep learning what you need to do to continue to develop your brand as an actor. And that's one of the things that's exciting about attending film festivals, meeting the directors and understanding everyone's personal story. I've sat in on a lot of the short films, a lot of the feature films, and I've always got my headshot and my postcard, to give to the directors and say, hey, I was interested in your film. I enjoyed seeing your work, and if there's anything we can work on in the future, here's my resume, here's my headshot. So I'm just a very traditional approach to it, And I'm from southern Indiana, a smaller town down in southern Indiana. The name of the town's Boonville, Indiana, and just a very traditional approach. I went to an acting modeling school in Evansville, Indiana, years ago, back when when I was in high school. And so, like I said, we were talking about how to get into acting. That was back when you were in high school. So the dreams were there then, but you just have to keep moving along till you get the opportunity. So, but I've got a family. My wife is originally from Japan.
Oh, right.
So we travel to Japan and we do a lot of traveling where we can kind of get out and see what's going on. So a lot of times when films are popular in the United States, they also become popular in Japan.
Yeah.
And in this film, there are some Japanese characters and there's some translation. I got to speak a few lines of Japanese in this film as well to add a little flavor to this particular intense moment where there was tension between this character and some of the bad guys he was trying to control as a police commissioner, trying to tell him, this is the way it's going to be. And I got to speak a few lines of Japanese.
That must have been fun.
So it was fun.
Did your wife have to correct you?
Well, on anything like that, anything that comes to Japan, she is my expert on that. Yeah, so I always say I can't ever say anything incorrectly or wrong in Japan because my wife translates for me when I'm there. I can't speak Japanese, so when I'm with her,
it does seem like a very tough language as well.
When I'm around her family, they think I always say the right things because she translates for me. She's always going to translate it, so I'm saying the right things. So that's good. So in the immediate future, like I said, just continuing along that path of working at it and trying to see what's out there. I've got a book coming out.
Wow!
Also. It's called Becoming a Great Leader. And it's all about leadership skills and how to develop your leadership skills in whatever industry you're in.
Yeah, I suppose because it translates.
Yeah, so it should be out probably in the middle of the summer. So that's one of the things also. So we've got a few things in the works. But,
and what do you do to relax? I know you obviously keep fit, and you alluded to that, which is great.
Yeah, and keeping fit is not always easy.
No, do you know, that is my biggest problem, because I do try, and I really do try, but when I'm away, it's so difficult when here's no gym, and then I'm meeting people all the time. By the time it gets to 9 or 10 evening, I don't want to, want to go into the gym anyway. But I feel guilty, and I curse myself because I want to, and I really do. And,
right.
But it's hard to do it when you're away. It's a lot easier when I'm at home. I've got a rowing machine. I do, watch much more what I eat. And again, here, that's very difficult, isn't it? Right. But, I'm a great believer in that, especially as the years roll by, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, you must face the same problems when you're away, I guess.
Yeah, and I try to, like I said, I just try to manage that the best that I can. It's a little cold out, but you can run out there. Okay. It's not too bad, and London's a beautiful place. So, but to kind of relax in that, I have 2 daughters that are young, elementary school age. So they're doing a few things every now and then with their school programs.
Yeah, I know.
And they've done some extra work.
Yeah.
And they like to watch Daddy and see what he's doing, and his acting, and they're interested in all that. So I kind of focus on them and some of the things that they're doing. Right now, they've over the holiday, they got into this. They found a YouTube video with the dollhouse miniatures.
Yes, yes.
So I ended up building a dollhouse over the holiday, but a little dollhouse, and it's mostly made out of corrugated and cardboard. Yeah. So it's not too heavy; they can lift it. But so they're just making everything, all these dollhouse miniatures, and they always come to me with their, they got this. Here's this dollhouse couch. This video on YouTube about how to build this dollhouse couch and all those things. So, on my Facebook page, and I encourage everyone to follow me on Facebook. Yeah. It's David Matthew Jenkins. But right now it's actor, writer, entrepreneur. But I've been thinking about also adding dollhouse miniaturist to it because I can build miniature dollhouses.
Fantastic, David. Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us here in London.
Thank you.
I really appreciate being here.
All right, change of plan. SOCOM wants to rendition the target, so we're going in. And I want full noise discipline, no weapons fire.
Hope SOCOM know what they're doing.
Come on, let's go!
Teach me how to do that move.
What move?
You're gonna open up a fighting gym, right? What is it? Kung Fu? Taekwondo?
Would you like to come to our establishment? Why should you? As long as you recommend it to your friends and clients.
Your sister, she's barely make it home. Something that we could have done.
No matter how fast or far you run, you'll only catch up to yourself. Watch, Don.
Hey, Popolo, you're not thinking about...
We did things in combat that we gotta live with.
You can create your own destiny. We can do it together. We can make our own. I don't know how.
Can men like us ever just quit?
Take my chances.
It is time